I also do think that the average American genuinely just doesn't want nice things for themselves. They have a punishment fetish. No matter how seemingly reasonable or modest the incremental change might be, no matter how good these policies might be, I think Americans sometimes look directly at good policies and say no. Part of the reason why this is fucking stupid and Americans are purposefully propagandized against and are kept stupid is because of the likes of dipshits like Elon Musk, who is literally using his fucking platform that he purchased to basically manipulate people, to make them crazier. And we're going to talk about that as well. The New York City ballot form is a scam. He says no ID is required. Other mayoral candidates appear twice. Cuomo's lame is last in the bottom right. One of the most insane things I've ever seen. It's like, remember how I told you that Republicans, by and large, have this very interesting and very sinister method of looking at something that is a normal part of the process, knowing full well that the average American is uninitiated with this normal part of the process, and then describing it in this sinister way, describing this in this scary, creepy way, right? Example I always use is like, you could do that with anything. You could talk about surgery, for example. Like, Republicans will be like, well, transgender surgery is butchery. You're just like chopping up people's body parts. Well, technically, that's open heart surgery as well. If you want to describe it in such gruesome terms, you could. And the same thing happens here. This is a normal ballot in the state of New York, in the citywide ballot. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump, I believe, was also endorsed by two separate parties. He was on the conservative line and the Republican Party ticket. And yet, for people outside of New York, they don't know that, right? So Elon Musk is actually taking advantage of the fact that many people don't know, and maybe he's too stupid to know, right? And of course, New York City has fusion voting, so candidates can run with multiple party lines. This is a 2024 sample ballot from Rochester. Both Harris and Trump appeared twice because they had two ballot lines. Basic New York politics here, but anything can be a conspiracy if you want it to be, says David Weigel. Now, of course, David Weigel's correction has only gotten 96 likes because he's on the platform owned by the fucking idiotic billionaire Elon Musk. Elon Musk's idiotic statement, casting a cloud of doubt over the fucking accuracy of the elections that are taking place in New York, which is, by the way, literal electioneering. This is supposed to be illegal. In a competent democracy with a competent governance, Elon would go to prison for this, or at least he would be punished for this. This is a way to freak people out, okay? And yet Elon Musk, because he is a billionaire and endlessly powerful and endlessly fucking stupid, can just bot his own shit into oblivion, have this moronic thing get in front of 13 million eyeballs on his platform and try to engage in electioneering at the very last second. I don't know how we fight back against this stuff. I don't know how we fight back against this stuff in the absence of good governance. There has to be rules around this sort of thing, okay? This is literal election interference. I know that it's great that we focus on the positives and we focus on Zohran and what he means for so many people and how he's been able to capture the attention of at least 100,000 door knockers. It's an incredible campaign, a real underdog story. And we were there. We were there at the ground floor. This community was there at the ground floor, and it's fucking awesome. But make no mistake, the reason why I will never be comfortable until it's done is because I understand the unimaginable faucet of misinformation against this campaign, the Islamophobia that is dialed up to 11 against this campaign, with billionaires and millionaires and numerous different corporate interests getting together and actively trying to propagandize against this dude who clearly has the motion, he clearly has the momentum, he clearly has the charisma. And the reason for why they want to do that is because they don't want you to dream. They don't want you to have the audacity of hope, a hope for better things and the possibility of better things, a hope for a better vision for a future. They do not want you to feel that way. They want you angry. They want you divided. They want you to hate one another. They want you to constantly fucking argue amongst yourselves and feel angry about random irrelevant things rather than those who are actually designing this society. And Elon Musk is one of the most visible aspects of this corrupt billionaire structure that exists. What has Zohran advanced, if not modest change in the direction, just offering a crumb back to the working poor, offering something that billionaires find to be devastating, of course, which is to dream, to have confidence once again in democracy, in the democratic process, to have confidence once again in your fellow man, that they will go out and they will be able to achieve incremental change. They don't want that. Capital owners do not want that at all, and they will fight back tooth and nail, as we have seen in this campaign. Some of you will say Zohran is not a radical. He's actually dropped all of his associations. But even then, even with the moderation that he has presented, even then, that is seemingly a bridge too far for capital owners in this city and capital owners broadly across the country. And that's precisely the reason why you see the likes of Ted Cruz now supporting Andrew Cuomo, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Ted Cruz. Virtually every Republican in the country is either demanding that Zohran Mamdani get deported, demanding that he get denaturalized, or demanding that at the very least you vote against him. Think about that. These people do not want even a shred of hope. They don't want you to have a speck of hope. They don't want you to recognize that you united through the process of collective action or through the process of voting, that you can make changes, incremental changes, modest changes that you are deserving of. They don't want you to have that. And they're fucking terrified. They're terrified of even modest social democracy. How can you look at this and see it as anything but the uniparty, the rot, the institutional rot that exists in American politics, that is the reason why so many people refuse to get up from the couch and go out and fucking vote? Yeah, here is a sitting representative, Andy Ogles, representing Tennessee's 5th congressional district, saying, "Wake up, New York," 18 hours ago, showing images of 9/11. Dennis M. Hogan responds, he says, "I grew up on Staten Island, lost friends and neighbors on 9/11, lost my dad to a 9/11 related cancer after he spent months working at Ground Zero. It's beyond disrespectful for any congressman to be posting this, let alone one from Tennessee. God almighty." The way that these people have basically tried to actively weaponize 9/11 against a Muslim mayoral candidate that is objectively popular, I cannot believe it. It is so fucking transparent. Now you got the Andrew Cuomo's of the world doing the same thing, but their association can't be as direct because they still have to abide by some semblance of civility. So he will go on a radio show where the radio show host says Zohran would cheer on a 9/11, and he'll agree, Andrew Cuomo, as he did with the Sid Rosenberg show, or he'll spend millions of dollars, all the PACs that are defending him, all the real estate PACs that are defending him, Michael Bloomberg, the Tisch family, Bill A. Packman, numerous others will try to tie Zohran Mamdani back to 9/11 by literally using someone like myself, another American citizen, to say, oh, he actually loves 9/11. Look, he did a fucking stream when he was in a primary, a very crowded field, when he was at 5%. He did a stream with Hasan Piker, a person like myself that obviously a lot of my haters will look to that and go, oh yeah, you're such a toxic figure. What I said in 2019 about 9/11 was obviously a reflection on a concept that there's academic consensus over, blowback, right? And I talked about in 2019 extensively how I did no favors to myself, something that I even apologized for. And yet they have basically tried to recirculate this for only one reason, okay? And that is because they want to associate Zohran Mamdani with 9/11. That's it. He's Muslim. They want to say he wants to do 9/11. They want to say he cheers on 9/11. And we don't need to speculate on this because Andrew Cuomo did unironically agree as recently as 2 weeks ago on the Sid Rosenberg show that Zohran Mamdani would cheer on another 9/11. And yet there was very little commotion or controversy surrounding this.